The case of a famous YouTuber, Trevor Heitmann.
Trevor Heitmann, identified as
YouTuber known as Mcskillet.
He's got manic behavior.
What do you want us to do?
Drove his car the wrong way on a freeway.
At this point, I don't have anything to clarify why or what.
Nobody could have predicted that this was how it all was going to end. With 3 people tragically losing their lives, although it all could have been prevented if just someone would have listened. Sometimes I wish someone would have told young Trevor right at this moment here 3 years prior that this new chapter of his would cost him everything.
Alright, so for number 10 we have the Op Dragon Lore factory new for $2,000 US. Here we have the Ruby version of the M9 bayonet Doppler, but then I believe this is the most expensive variant of it right here is the Black Pearl edition, which is the completely black with a...
Trevor was always described as a very bright and smart kid that tried to find his place in this world and somehow got himself involved in CSGO's complex skins economy. CSGO was very special compared to all the other games at that time because it had patterns on skins, which meant that skins from the same category had an unlimited amount of different appearances, and that made people hyped to open boxes and collect the rarest ones. And Trevor, who was just as fascinated as everybody else, would start making videos around that topic. The fact that there was almost no information publicly available, or at least most of it being only in gated communities, made his videos extremely valuable to traders and collectors, and placed his name right into the door of becoming the face of skins. And the next few months proved that point to become very true, as he would grow to over 500,000 subscribers only half a year after his first upload. Right around that time, CSGO was at the peak of its player base, which made content around skin trading go viral all over YouTube, and that drew the attention of some unwanted guests. Gambling websites, and Mcskillet was one of the first creators to be sponsored by them and got paid extremely well in the turn of events. But the trading scene was facing an incredible problem. Most of the trades that were being done were either through DMs or communities with false middlemen, and that led to a lot of people being straight up scammed.
That's yours though.
No, they're not mine. Oh shit! Shit!
Wait.
No, they want me to trade them. They just took all my items, dude. They just took all my items. Oh my god, dude, I just got scammed. I just got fucking scammed, dude.
Seeing those problems slowly taking over made Mcskillet launch his own website CSGO Trade, which allowed people to trade in their skins safely via bots and exchange them for other ones with almost no price slippage and only a small added fee. A few months after that, he launched CSGO Kingdom, and after some moderate success, CSGO Magic. And that changed everything. In just 10 months, CSGO Magic and Kingdom alone generated a net profit of $4 million. Turning over so much money made Mcskillet purchase a new car, a McLaren 750S, which would later play a very important role. But the way bigger problem at the time was the absurd popularity that fraud was gaining within the skins community, with known streamers and YouTubers jumping on the trend of promoting their own websites to their followers without any clear reference, and that caused a lot of bad headlines. So much even that Valve decided to step in and fix this problem once and for all. In 2018, Valve announced a direct ban of all trading bots related to gambling websites and a new 7-day trading cooldown on all items. Sadly, one of those banned accounts was Mcskillet's personal Steam inventory, as it was linked with the same phone number as all his trading bots from his websites. And that caused around 150k worth of skins to being completely excluded from the game forever. But that wasn't all, as Valve forced the shutdown of a bunch of websites with all the new policy changes. And one of those was CSGO Magic, Mcskillet's biggest achievement and income stream at that time. Surprisingly enough, it took only 2 days for someone to figure out a loophole that was able to make all websites work again. And Mcskillet's devs wanted to take this into action and restructure everything. But for some reason he wasn't happy with that and immediately told them to shut down all operations as he wanted to quit the gambling scene for good. That was on the 20th of March and marked the last time that anyone ever heard of Mcskillet again. He just completely vanished after that day, without anyone knowing what was going on. This was until someone came forward with some information, describing that Mcskillet had planned to jump on the Fortnite hype by building a tournament website, but someone from his dev team had screwed him for a good amount of money. How much exactly is unknown, but it definitely caused some major damage to his mental state. Sadly, there is no information about what exactly happened in the following 4 months, but whatever it was, it made Mcskillet go insane. On August the 18th, he broke down in front of his parents, stating that he had driven 150 miles per hour in a 25 zone facing the wrong direction. And when his dad asked him what he would do if the police caught him, he replied that neither the police nor their bullets could hurt him. During the next 5 days, these mental problems got increasingly worse, to the point where he started having schizophrenic episodes and aggressive breakouts towards his mother. He even kicked her out of the house, threatening to hurt her if she ever questioned him again. The only person outside of the family that noticed this drastic change in behavior was the neighborhood therapist and friend of the family, Dr. Mary. She instantly noticed that something was terribly wrong with him, and therefore decided to call 911 early in the morning of August the 23rd to ask for help.
Hello, 911.
I'm calling to report an emergency. I believe there's an individual who is a danger to himself and a danger to others. I do believe that he's suffering from a mental illness and that he should be detained on a 5150.
Only about 10 minutes later, police arrived at the house where the parents and psychiatrist were already eagerly awaiting them.
3 San Diego police officers arrived at Trevor Heitmann's home while the 18-year-old was asleep upstairs.
Okay, and you're that you were concerned about? Okay, what
just doing all kind of crazy stuff.
like what?
Driving 100 miles an hour in his McLaren. Who bought the car for him? He bought it. He bought it?
He bought a McLaren?
Millions of dollars, yeah. At 18 years old? He's a very intelligent kid. He made $4 million in 10 months. Okay. Oh. So
He's got to teach me his ways.
not right now.
What do you want us to do?
Take him for a psychological evaluation.
I mean, he's got to meet certain criteria, though.
He's got manic behavior.
He's never been diagnosed with anything.
He needs to go into a doctor.
Okay. Before you start, ma'am, there's a criteria. He has to be gravely disabled. He has to have a credible threat against somebody. He has to have or harmful to his own self. There's only certain criteria that we can take him under.
I want him safe. All I want is him to be safe. If I evict him, I'm afraid he could hurt someone else or himself.
But do you want him to hurt you?
I don't want him to hurt anyone.
See, the only reason that I'm hesitant to go in there is because I don't want him.
It's a psychiatrist.
I don't want to force a violent confrontation.
But he should be held on a 5150.
Okay, based on what? Give me some criteria.
He's a danger to himself.
How is that?
He reported that he was driving the wrong way.
Okay, well, let me ask you, are you his psychiatrist?
I am not.
Have you ever seen him?
I have not.
In any professional setting? Okay, he has to be doing something violent. I won't go to prison to get him into a hospital when it's illegal for me to do so. I hear what you're saying and I'm not discrediting that, but we have to have something substantial.
What I can tell you though is based on what I heard, although you are right, I did not evaluate him and I am not his psychiatrist.
Right.
It would be enough criteria were I treating him to diagnose him with a mental illness.
Okay.
And to hold him involuntarily because he's reporting behavior that is placing the public at risk and placing himself at risk.
Clearly understand there's something going on right here.
Yeah, clearly.
He's at the beginning stage of something going on right there that we don't have enough yet.
Despite the described dangers and the medical analysis by the neighbor psychiatrist, the police refused to detain Mcskillet as they were scared that it could get them in legal trouble. And so with nothing but mixed feelings, the dad promised to keep an eye on his son and drive him to the hospital later on once he woke up. And with that, the conversation ended and the police left. But this was by far the worst thing that could have happened. Only a few hours later, at around 4:15 p.m, Mcskillet woke up from his nap, rushed down the house, grabbed his car keys and told his parents that he had to go. And before anyone was able to react, he got behind the wheel of his McLaren, rammed the family SUV out of the way and drove off in high speed. Only 7 minutes later, at 4:23 p.m, a distressed mother captured him speeding through the gates of the Ashley Falls Elementary School.
You know you're driving in a school zone, right?
Hey, what's wrong? What you doing here?
What did he just say? Did he say that off to you?
Something's wrong with him.
He's coming back! He's coming back! Hi! You have a crazy ass on your campus right now driving in a sports car, chasing after the kids! I mean, there is a crazy ass. Call 911 right now!
Just a few minutes later, at 4:30 p.m, he reached the I-5 freeway, where he was involved in a hit and run. Police received a call around the same time from his father, begging them to get his son as he was in a manic state and needed help immediately. But time was running out. At around 4:32, Mcskillet had arrived at the 805 highway, where he drove onto the off-ramp facing the wrong direction at a speed of over 100 miles per hour. Incoming cars tried to get out of the way, but it was already too late. At 4:36 p.m, Mcskillet's McLaren collided head-on with a Hyundai SUV, killing himself as well as 43-year-old Eileen Pizarro, who was a therapist that worked with abused children, and her 12-year-old daughter, Ariana Pizarro, who was a singer and just days away from starting 7th grade. They were only minutes away from home when they lost their lives. And the news instantly picked it up and made it a national story. People were outraged about what had happened and immediately called it an egotistical murderous suicide without knowing the full story. Mcskillet's autopsy revealed that there were no drugs or alcohol in his blood and also no history of depression or suicidal thoughts, and therefore stated that he was in a state of mania. A condition that can cause extreme delusion and risky behavior. To no surprise, this ripped a big hole into the hearts of all the loved ones that were heavily affected by this crash.
He was not in his right frame of mind, and that was the primary reason that he found himself going the wrong way on a highway, and that my prayers and thoughts are also for his family as well. They cared about others so much, and that's what I'm trying to keep in my heart as well.
The lawsuits that followed were complex. The Pizarro family sued Trevor's family and the state. Trevor's family sued the police for failing to act, and the state sued Trevor's family for not acting sooner. These lawsuits went on for years before they were settled in 2024, ruling that the state was at fault and the police should have done more to protect the public. It's really sad how all of this could have been prevented if the police had listened.